Hi all and welcome into the stream. Now just bear me a second because Discord's been a bit of a bugger with me and it's not letting me share that I'm actually live. Yes, it is Roadmap, it is finally been released and we are going to do it here live. I want your opinions, I want to know what you think of this roadmap. It has been released a couple of hours ago, so you should have had a chance to read it by now and have an idea what is actually contained in it. Also, RevJuice has actually released a video on it as well, so by all means, do check out that video as well after the stream. So, and for some peculiar, like I said, the Discord is on my tablet. It's just absolutely, you know what? Everyone knows I'm doing a stream, so yeah, there it is. So, hi Marcus, welcome into the stream, mate. So, eager to hear everybody's opinion on the roadmap. I was kind of hoping there'd be more people here by now, actually, on this. So I was wondering where everyone is, right? Yeah, for some reason, the Discord's actually showing my page I want. It's actually showing my alliance chart. So, right, let's put that in there. And pray and hope that's actually working. I don't know. I think I know what could be wrong. It could be a delay. As you can see, it's actually appearing. So it is actually getting out there. But yeah, well, the roadmap. So, like I said, I want people's opinions. I want to know what you're honestly thinking about it. I mean, I've looked through it and I'm just thinking, yeah, okay. And I forgot to put my new light on. Yes. Watch this. Hey, Alexis. I have an extra light. Yes, I've been able to illuminate and probably get rid of this little bit here. So, also, it was my birthday a few days ago, so my partner, well, in fact, my family bought me a light ring to put up in the little studio. So, but anyway, so what we're going to do is we are going to go over to the Discord here on this screen, not my tablet. So, you will all get to see the thingy. So, without further ado, let's get to the black screen. Let's cut over to it and it should be, there it is. Well, there it is. So I'm going to stay small here in the corner out of the way. So as you can see, a nice, I pulled that picture. Yes, I copied it. I writ over it. Let me guess, Voyager. No. Well, actually, I'm not 100% sure because there's hints in this of what's coming. It's giving you an idea. It's giving you an idea of what they're going to be releasing. In fact, they literally announced what's being released next month. So, yeah, I don't think there's going to be much for Rev and DJ to release in the way of hints. But, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to click onto there. If it would actually, here we go. So just give me the link. So, and there it is. Yes, it is the roadmap. A nice picture of the Enterprise flying through, flares coming out the back. So, but anyway, so to start off, obviously, yes, we finally have a roadmap. It's only about 7 weeks later than what we've been used to the last couple of years, but Eco has had a lot on his plate to deal with. I mean, especially everything that's been released this year and all the ups and downs. So, yes. So, celebrating its 4th anniversary as we fly into next year, it's time to review the passing year and share some of the roadmap for plans of what lays ahead. Yes. So, and I tell you what I can actually do. I can actually read it right here next to me on a big screen. Because yes, I got the camera I'm recording on, which is showing you this. Yes, this through the green screen. I've got a big screen so I can see all your chat come up over my face right here. Let's get the camera. There it is, right here. So obviously drop your comments, drop your queries, let me know what you think about what's coming up. Also, I will be looking at doing a video on the year as a whole, and the best bit is Eco's done half the work for me because he's released it right there. Yes, he's released it right there, showing us what we actually had. So yes, I can't wait to go through the year. Rev Juice did a quick one, but I think he's going to do a more in-depth one video as well. But anyway, so what have we had this year? We've had the Ferengi Rules of Acquisition introduced to us with some new features, the Devolve feature, the Treasury, and the whopping cross-server leaderboards. Yes, whoa, that was a big thing. That was a big one. What did it turn out to be? Well, pretty much just a bigger version of the spend events, really. But the Treasury was a great addition to the game, I will say, and so was the Devolve feature. Next up, we had obviously the Lower Decks Arc, which added a support mechanic to the game in the form of the USS Cerritos, and it also brought in the ability to have the lower decks actually be useful for a change. Rather than stat stacking, they started giving you abilities. So 10D was the best one to come out of that, in my opinion, and obviously we've had some good ones since. I mean, Miles of Brine can increase your warp speed. Okay, not bad. But yeah, so we've had a few good things. Then Strange New Worlds came around, which was pretty much a complete Spender's Arc. So obviously it was brought in for the release of Strange New Worlds Season 1. So, and what did it bring with it? Well, it brought Infinite Incursions. How good has that been? Well, to be perfectly frank, it's not been exactly the shining beacon of joy that Scopley was hoping it could be. That's probably part of the reason why they cancelled December's. But anyway, they also introduced the Mantis ship. Now, the downside to the Mantis ship at the time is they never actually gave us any inclination on what kind of free-to-play path there was going to be. All we got told is we will know something by the end of the year. Well, luckily, we have a free-to-play path in the game, which is Infinite Incursions. But we also got the Mantis in this month's event store as well. So that was a great thing. The Galaxy Tree expansion. Yeah. All right, then. I will openly admit, I said I wasn't going to do it, but with some of these rather large domination events with the Latinum payouts, to be perfectly honest, the first level on that Galaxy Research expansion does provide a significant power boost, so it really does actually help complete that big domination event. Not the mini one that we get in the Battle Pass, the one, yeah. It's actually got a picture of a starbase on it, our starbase. So it's the only time I actually touch that research. It's the one that involves the Rudidium research. Anyway, next up is DS9, which is what we've currently got going on at minute. Now, there is a couple of things missing off the Deep Space Nine one, but we've got the bigger flop, Alliance Starbase, yes, which we will talk about later on in the stream. We've got the USS Defiant, great new addition to the game. Kay, welcome to the stream, mate. I've not had the pleasure of actually going aboard the Defiant yet. I'm still working on it, but at least we have a guaranteed free-to-play path put in from day one. So can't wait to get it in around about 60 days time. Automated defenses, another feature which is locked behind a paywall. Not seeing anything in the way of sourcing. So hang on a minute. The problem is Scopley is rushing players. Yes, that is a big thing at the minute. It does appear that Scopley is trying to rush players, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair, but I'm just a baby content creator at the minute. I've only just hit over 400 subscribers. Woohoo! But yeah. So that's not bad for my first year ever doing things like this. I've hit 400 finally. Yay! Armory, brilliant introduction to the game as far as I'm concerned, with the boosts it gives you, and obviously it's going to give you the abilities for your ships when you get to the recommended levels, and it has already announced that the uncommons have the abilities readily accessible when you reach those particular levels in the armory. Espionage Spy event, great new mechanic, event style brought into the game. Downside to it, took too long. No advertisement, nothing explaining anything. I mean, even like Rev Juice admits that him and DJ weren't like overly pushing it and everything. Like myself, day one, I'm 35, no enterprise. Don't worry, Alexis. If you haven't got an enterprise at 35, by the time of 35, do not worry. Just it's a grind. I'm not going to lie, it's a grind. And you'll get there eventually. Trust me, you will get there eventually. So I've literally only just got the D4. Yes, I've had the Enterprise and I've got the Augur, but I've finally only just got the D4. I've got the blueprints ready to build the Gladius as well. So I've finally only just completed my G3 ships myself. Well, actually, I haven't built the Gladius yet, but I will do soon. But anyway, Spy Espionage, it was a nice event. Just shame it took so long. It was just so drawn out. It could have easily been done. Don't worry, I'm almost 46 and still no Enterprise. Yeah, Kate, like I said, the Enterprise is not the end, all and end be it. I will say that much. So, but yeah, so that's the year. Like I said, I will go a bit more into it because there is one ship missing off here, and that's the Amalgam. Now, a lot of people are raving, saying, yeah, the Amalgam's the best thing. I think I might have found a problem. Yes, I think I've actually found a problem. But the problem is I need to do a little bit more research into it and do some maths because, yeah, I don't think it's pulling as much as it should, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not entirely happy with the Amalgam as a base raider. It doesn't increase base raiding by a significant amount, in my opinion. The refinery for it is pretty shocking. So, but yeah, I mean, it's one good way to source on a guard wharf, but one blueprint every 3 days if you're lucky, maybe even 9 days, but it depends on the RNG of everything around it. It's just literally, yeah. So, soon had the pilot will join them. And how far off the pilot are you, Kay? So, but yeah, there we go. So that was the year. So overall, it has actually been a busy year with a lot of bugs, a lot of failed starts, it has been a wacky year, hasn't it? Let's not mince words. It has been a crazy year. It's not been the best year by far for Scopley. Yeah. I really just don't know what else to say to it. I will think about more of it over the next... well, obviously not 46 yet, but... So no shipyard 46. And just need 26... No, get those 26 blueprints, mate, even before the shipyard. Because if you've got it before the shipyard, at least when you get that shipyard, boom, straight in, get it built, get it out, job's a good one. And if you've got the resources and the materials to actually do Ops 46... Yeah, the big problem is for a strategy game to work, we need to be able to make up a strategy. But we get nothing from Scopley. You know what, Marcus, right? I'm not going to disagree with that. Gala. That's my answer to that one. Gala, right? Start of Deep Space Nine arc, right? They gave us Cardassian Armadas. We didn't have an adequate crew to take on these new powerful Armadas, in which, in my opinion, has replaced the faction Armadas, because the Cardassian Armadas do actually pay out better in the long run, to be honest, even in the short run, period. But when we came up with a strategy, and a lot of experienced players in this game who know their officers inside out, literally within 5 seconds said, I know who to use. Word went out. What do? They chucked that officer in jail, and they only brought her out 24 hours later with a compromise, which was mediocre at best, but it was almost like they were not prepared to release her without doing something that could benefit them at the end of the day, not the player base. So they want to have a strategy game and allow the players to actually develop strategies to come up with to deal with the events that they're actually putting out. But yet then they take the strategy off us because we actually worked out a strategy they forgot about. That's literally summed up September. So, in my opinion, and this is why I say it's been full of a lot of stuff. But anyway, looking what's actually in this roadmap, it does give me some hope that we can have something better next year, that they are actually as well focusing on some of the bigger things that we are screaming out for them to get sorted. Lag. Yes, lag. So that is if you haven't read this yet, it is further down the list and we will go into it. But anyway, so as always, all the details contained in this roadmap and all the patch notes are subject to change at Scopley's whim. Yes, so we are subject to that. Missing for a fair few thousand rare 4-star orb, but we'll spend. Yeah, I've noticed that seems to be a big one. I mean, when I did my Road to 46 video, I did actually have it up, and I'm not even sure actually. Not much info on new content, but we'll have to see. No, to be honest, okay, there is actually more information in here than meets the eye, and you've got to know where to look. And to be honest, it was literally watching Rev Juice's video on this roadmap, which is actually opened my eyes to a little bit more detail. And obviously, the bigger hint comes right at the bottom of what we're actually going to get in January. So now the roadmap. So this is the first thing that they're going to introduce. It's called Fleet Commanders. During the last few years, obviously, we've noticed how big your ships have got and how much they've grown, and you need officers' additional support in commanding this large fleet. I had rare ore, but then I had to upgrade all the dilithium vaults to 45. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, I think that's the one thing I found when researching the Road to 46 is how much rare ore. And what was not covered in that video is how much extra materials you will need just to do the needed research just to go to 46. So there's also that. So I will be looking into that and doing an addendum to that video, which will add on to the end, which will be basically like a part 2. So, and it is literally, and to be perfectly honest, since releasing that video, I've actually amended my thoughts on how quick I could potentially go 46 staying at 42, or would it be better if I actually just worked my way through the levels one by one. But I will cover that in a video which will be releasing some point in January. Once I've done all the research. I'd plan to be 46 this month, but maybe it'll take, yeah. And that's one thing, is I was looking at 46 by next December. Somebody did say to me, am I living in a dream world? And the answer is yes, I am living in a dream world. But the more I thought about it, I was thinking, yeah, he's actually got a point there. It is a bit, yeah, okay. So, but like I said, that's a video that I'm working on, and it will be released next month. So Fleet Commanders, Fleet Commanders will give you a new way to enhance your station and your fleet. Here are the most impactful and iconic characters from the Star Trek universe taking centre stage. They will bring additional power and strategy to all your fleet while commanding it from the safety of your station. So now this is actually giving, at the minute, obviously, when your ships are in dock, your ships have the certain level of power based on research and everything, but the second you leave that station, some of that research doesn't take effect. It drops off the ship, hence the reason why the total strength of your ship does actually drop by a certain amount. Now, by the sounds of this, these new officers are going to put some of that back, whether your ship is docked or not. It's going to put it back on your ship, so your ship will still be a bit stronger out, and it will also give way to some additional features that's mentioned later on in the roadmap, which they're looking at bringing in the game. How long it'll take them to bring it in is another story, but we shall wait and see. So they will bring, like I say, from the safety of your station. The first fleet commanders chosen to be unleashed on the galaxy would include Captain Spock, Admiral Kirk, and a very special assimilated officer. Now, we have a number of assimilated officers in the game. Well, actually, in canon, should we say. Well, actually, no, we only have one assimilated officer. And that was Locutus, aka Jean-Luc Picard, captain of the Enterprise D, the Stargazer, the Enterprise E, the USS Verity. So anybody who's following canon, you'll pretty much know what I mean by the Verity and where that comes in canon. But there are a couple of other officers, if you remember certain episodes of Voyager, where Janeway was assimilated, Tuvok was assimilated, and don't forget something. Now, here's the kicker. Now, if I take that statement, a very assimilated officer, if we take that out, you can't count 7 of 9 because she was never an officer. 7 of 9, or Annika Hansen, was assimilated at the age of 5 as a civilian aboard the starship SS Raven, which was not officially a Starfleet vessel. It was a Federation. They were Federation citizens, but it was actually a small science vessel, small research vessel owned by the Hansen family. And that's what was assimilated, but they weren't Starfleet officers. So if you take assimilated officer as a key, as a clue, you're literally narrowing the number of officers. Now, I have Avantism. Hugh, yes, he was in Star Trek The Next Generation in 3 episodes, but again, he wasn't a Starfleet officer. He wasn't originally born of a Federation's society. If I'm right about it, I'm most likely wrong, but yes, Hugh is another one that they could potentially bring in, because he did get to a point where he did help the Enterprise. He did help stop Law in Descent Part 2. So, yeah, maybe. But there are a couple of other officers. Now, I can't remember the name of the episode, but it was the episode where Neelix needed to find a map of what was beyond the Necrotic Expanse. It was towards the end of Season 3 of Star Trek Voyager, and they went to that station, and then there was these 3 Borg officers on there. One of them was a Starfleet officer, and that was the Bajoran, because she said she was working in the engineering on the USS Melbourne, if I remember correctly. So again, my geekiness showing through. I mean, if somebody can correct me on that one, please drop it in the comment section down below, because I would be interested to know. But it's a very special officer. Who knows? But I've got a funny feeling it's going to go in line with Captain Spock and Admiral Kirk, somewhere in there. Because why bring in officers from Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, into this? Yeah. It's sort of like throwing mixed IPs. You've got a TV, and then you've got, because the Borg were never, well, yeah, First Contact, they were in the film, sorry, but yeah, well, yeah, I'm literally going round in circles, and I need to stop there before I literally lose my mind. But anyway, so I do apologise about that. But so we're going to be getting this now. What I've seen from this screenshot here, now it does say in the bottom corner, if you can read it, final screens may differ. It does actually say underneath work in progress, but as you would have noticed, it does say skill tree. Yes. So now we're going to be getting skill trees into the game for specific officers. And looking at what we've got here, we've got minor, we've got architecture. Architectures are going to be a big one for something they are planning on releasing later on. And then you've got scientist. Oh, you're missing one. Oh, please, Alexis, who am I missing? Because I thought I managed to get them all. Please, I really like I really like these when I've missed one, it does the, oh, who have I missed? Who have I missed? I'm like a kid at Christmas. So, but yeah, so we've got this coming up. This is going to be released. As you can see as well, we've got some new currencies. Yes, we've got more currencies coming up, guys. How they're going to be sourced, I do not know. Because obviously we don't get much information on this. But apparently this player's got 56,000 Latinum, so... But, I mean, yeah. Take this as you will. By the looks of it, each one is got levels, so I'm guessing this is going to be some kind of research tree or something like that. I mean, the closest thing I can see this to is if anybody has played Star Trek Online, you've got your skill sets for your officers, for your ships. I think your ships anyway. But because I never played it, it's just some videos that I've actually watched of some of the content creators of Star Trek Online, and it just seems something similar to that, adding extra abilities and skills and improving stuff. So it's like the miner. I'm guessing that would do something like improve your miners while they're out and about mining. What it'll do is, I'm guessing, let's say, protected cargo size, mining speed, things like that. This is literally just me like thinking out the box. I mean, if any of you've got any different ideas, different suggestions, please drop it in the comment section down below. Architecture as well. What that means, I do not know. I've got something to do with maybe hunting artifacts or something like that, and you collect these artifacts to develop certain researches. I mean, as you can see at the top line, you've got dilithium. Okay. So in the mining one, you've got a mining drill with what looks to be a level up. So I'm guessing that's like mining speed. So something like that. And then you've got scientists. Now, that is a rather broad one. Because what about the holographic emitter and one? Oh, right, yes. Right, one was the result of a transporter accident near a nebula when the doctor and a couple of officers went out to scan a nebula that was continuously expanding at a rapid rate, and they had to be beamed out. The mobile emitter was damaged, got infused with some of 7 of 9's nanoprobes. They left it in a science lab to run a diagnostic overnight, and then it came back in the morning, and an extraction tube took some DNA samples and created one, the new 29th century drone. So that could be a very big possibility. Could one be coming into the game? I don't know, because we do have other things to come into the game still, like Discovery seasons 3, 4 and soon 5. You've got Picard, we've still got to bring in yet, so looking around the turn of the 24th to the 25th century. We've got Prodigy. I've not actually watched it yet. From what I've heard, it's pretty damn good. You've got Lower Deck season 3. You've got Strange New Worlds season 2 coming up. So I mean, there's a lot of IPs have got to get through, but one, yeah, that could potentially come through. You never know. Possibility. But this is Scopley. It depends on how many of them actually know canon. Or if they just watch the show just for some insight. To be honest, for those creating a Star Trek game, I would probably highly recommend they should have a good idea on canon. They should have a real good idea on canon. But anyway, but yeah, this science tree, so what it could be, I'm not 100% sure. But given the fact it's Spock on the far side, he is a science officer. Yeah, you never know. It could to do with something maybe like command or research boosts or construction boosts or things like that. So, but that's just that's just my opinion on this tree. What do you think? What do you think all this could mean? Do you even like this idea? Literally, do you think that this could be a great addition to the game? Giving specific officers that ability to boost stuff from your base and while your ships are out. I mean, the miner one could be a good one for all those who absolutely love mining. Latinum Mundi will be a storm. Literally, those leaderboards will be taken over. In fact, I think the free-to-play players could even give the spenders on that Latinum Mundi leaderboard a run for their money. Who knows? So, it would be interesting to see. But we'll see what happens. Now, moving on, as you can see, mock-up, work in progress. Now, hailing frequencies. Now, according to Rev, it's another grind, but if they're as good as the Bajoran Favours, it can be nice. Exactly, Kate. And this is what I think. I think it's overdue. We'll prefer mechanic using existing officers. Another good idea. And I think that would be a good one as well, Evan. Using existing officers rather than just bringing in new officers. But live, I originally said Voyager perhaps. Yeah, but I mean, right, you've got me with that one. I know you said Voyager to begin with, Voyager coming in. Yes, there's Voyager still to come. I'm going to say if Voyager's going to come in 2023, right? If it's going to come, I'm going to say it will be the back end of the year, like they did with DS9, right? Last October, they teased us about Deep Space, and that Deep Space Nine was coming in. 6 months later, they teased us about Alliance Starbases. So they literally dragged it out as long as they could with Deep Space Nine. Could they do the same with Voyager? Yeah, but I think they just might not announce it, that it could be Voyager. I mean, Voyager, I don't know what they would do around Voyager, because yeah, the Borg put in it, but yeah, something about the Borg first. Yes, the Borg will be coming up first. Prodigy and Voyager as a finale. Yeah, I mean, exactly, Kate. That's what I would like. That's what I would probably see happening. But I think they are going to do a couple of the movies as well. So, and I think that's where this skill tree comes in with those officers. But we'll be dealing with it on a Borg theme. So maybe First Contact, because First Contact was a time traveling Borg movie. They went back in time to stop Zefram Cochrane from doing his first warp flight. They took over the Enterprise E in order to try and do it. They fired torpedoes, which Data managed to put the Titan scanners out of alignment just enough so they actually passed behind. How the Borg Queen didn't actually pick that one up, I really didn't know, but I guess that's just one of the inconsistencies of writing movies, because I would have thought a robotic mind would have noticed the flight path was actually literally just off to miss the ship. But hey, what do I know? So, but moving on. Hailing frequencies. Now, apparently this is something that has actually been asked by players in the game. I'm not confident that we're done with Deep Space Nine. No, I don't think we're done with DS9. I think we've still got some officers to source, like Esri, Martok, another Martok, probably. But yeah, so TNG, I don't think they're finished with. I don't think they're finished with a lot of content that's already been released into the game. There's more that they can add. And like I said, we've got more Star Trek to come this year. Jake Sisko. Where he would fit in this, I don't know. Maybe as a news reporter. I don't know. I'm sure they would find a slot for him. So there is a lot to come in. But we literally, December is the last of DS9 for this year. It's the last they're going to be dealing with it for the time being. So obviously, just bearing in mind that we most likely will be circling back round to a lot of this older content. maybe a couple of years down the line, just to do some new content and update things as and when we need, Scopley need to. But hailing frequencies, yeah, so a lot of players apparently have asked for this since 2019. Something similar, where you can talk in the systems. So the Galaxy, obviously Galaxy Chat apparently is a great place for a chat. It's a cesspool of hate and suffering. To put it bluntly, on some servers is just like vile. But some servers, I'm sure Galaxy Chat can actually be a great place. So I mean, maybe on Eco server, maybe Galaxy Chat is actually a nice place to chat with other people. Whereas other servers, like the older servers, is full of insults, it's full of innuendos, it's full of all sorts. So, but have you ever wished that you could hail some of those ships you meet in the vast galaxy? Well, the hailing frequencies feature will arrive early next year and will include some special animated emotes that you can use from your ships to communicate with other commanders in your vicinity. Hi Card, welcome to the stream, mate. Don't forget Nog, Strange New Worlds in Benga, Chapel, to name a few. Yes, exactly. Kate, your opinion on Galaxy Chat is exactly the same as mine. I wish they would make some sort of party system where you could make groups, or like for Armadas where you also have group chat. Yeah, and I think this is something similar with hailing frequencies. It's going to be something similar to this, but you can actually just go out and chat with people in that system. Eve Echoes apparently had something like this where you could chat to whoever was in that system with you, which makes more logical sense than chatting with people across a galaxy, because inter-system communications was a hell of a lot easier than subspace communications. Subspace communications, you always had to wait for a reply and things like that, whereas obviously later on in Star Trek, hell, you could use the Midas array once every every 29 days or something like that, and you could communicate halfway across the galaxy. Hi Bandit. No, you haven't missed much, mate. Just me ranting and raving about this year so far, and don't know if you've played WoW, but the chat system is so much better. Yes, I did play WoW for a little bit quite a few years ago. It was sort of it was good on one hand. On the other hand, I literally shot myself in the foot. It was a friend who got me into it. They helped me through it. I blasted 50 levels in 3 months. But I literally knew jack about the game. I literally knew jack all about what to do. When it came to doing dungeons, I had no idea how to be a healer or what to do or anything like that. So, to my own detriment of shooting through 50 levels in 3 months, yeah, bad idea. My friend did help me with a couple of dungeons. They were level 90, but stayed for 14 years. Wow, that's a good time. The animated series of Star Trek. Now, yes, I think that's the one Star Trek that keeps getting forgotten about, because I always forget about that one. I've never actually watched the animated series, so I don't know the full canon behind it. So all I know is it continued after season 3, the original series. So it would be better if they let Admiral send group messages to entire alliance. This sounds stupid. Right. Are you on about like an at everyone sort of thing? Chairs card, yeah, I will check it out eventually. I'm nearly finished Deep Space Nine, but then I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube and on Rambo, First Blood, and it's got my gander up to go watch the Rambo series again, a series of films, because I really do enjoy Rambo. But yeah, it's Marcus. Are you actually on about like an at everyone sort of thing? Because if it is, I mean, usually, I'm a Commodore in my alliance, and usually if I want to put something out to everyone in alliance chat quickly, I usually put in big capital letters, attention all hands. If that gets their attention, it works. If it doesn't, then fair dues. But I get what you mean. I mean, I would probably say like a PM to every single player in your alliance would probably be another idea. Yeah, for like territory capture, for example, now I need to send 65 PMs. Yeah. Now, one of our Commodores in our alliance, she puts in our Discord that we've got a takeover within like, and she usually does it within like 10 minutes, but she does it at everyone. So obviously it'll ping on everybody's phones, or hopefully everyone's phones. But I will admit, not a lot of people turn up, because we do have a lot of players who don't bother talking in chat, they don't bother communicating properly, and then we've got some players who we've just not even heard from for like months on end. But that's just the way things go. But this hailing frequencies, now to me, I'm not quite sure why they need it. I mean, something like this, yeah, okay, fair dues. But all you had to do was just click on another ship, and what they could have done is on that box is have, instead of scan, chat. Or you could have scan, attack, chat on just that little box there. I mean, maybe that's the way it's going to come out. I don't know. But something like this, I'm presuming, is like, so you can, I mean, if you actually have a look on the chat bar at the top, it actually does have a planet. So maybe it's just like chat for everyone in that particular system. Now, this is going to be a big thing considering the number of systems we actually have in the game. I mean, I'm going to hazard a guess and say we have around about 1,000 different systems in the game. When you take into account independent space, all the level 1s, level 2s, level 4s, level 5s, 6 and upwards, I'm probably saying we're going to have around about 1,000 systems in this game so far that you can readily explore when you get to G5. But you can reach that 1,000 mark. But, I mean, something like that, I mean, spot with a question mark, exclamation and question mark. What that emoji quite means, I really do not know. But whoever it is, it's definitely got to be a fall for the feds. And what's that one? In Patreon system, hostile. So, but yeah, how this is going to work, I really do not know. It could potentially be a pretty damn good thing if it actually works properly. I like it how the player has 800 million. Yeah, that is a good one. That one. I mean, even Alliance Starbase doesn't have that one. So I'm like, that's 800 million. Woohoo! That's a pretty powerful booming player with an unspecified level with only 150 latinum. So, and I like the way they've got chests, not inventory. Exactly, they fixed something that has not been a problem instead of fixing some problems we have. Okay, my problem is an Admiral problem, so don't infect many. No, I know exactly what you mean. And it's not just an Admiral problem, because sometimes an Admiral might not even be online. And just for docs, yeah. But it's not just an Admiral problem. Commodores who play the game, Retro Badgers releasing more videos again with the Enterprise J. I kept Voyager J even, and against Doctor Who's TARDIS. Nice one. But it's like sometimes I'll communicate something quickly because I've learned something, and instead of going to my Admiral, do you mind if I just communicate this, that, and the other, and wait for him to respond? Yes, you can do. Or no, I'll do it myself. He just lets me do it. So it's just like, and he trusts his Commodores to actually help keep things running in the Alliance smoothly in his absence. So it can come down to a Commodore level, but again, yes, it could be something where we could message everybody in Alliance for things like territory takeover, or now like when your Alliance Starbase is being raided. get as many players there to swarm the invaders as quickly as possible. But we'll discuss that one a little bit later. But yeah, so it's not purely an admiral problem. I see where you're coming from with it, but right, let's refresh the chat on there. So, but yeah. But anyway, but hopefully this heading frequencies might amount to something pretty good. I know what you mean about the need to fix problems that we've got in the game at the minute, but trust me, that's coming up a bit later on in the video. So again, work in progress, and in fact, here it comes now. Game lag and performance. So now we all know that this year's been absolutely crap. A minor thing, but Scopley should make it for all players to see in which alliance members are online and when they was last online, just like the Commodores. Yeah, I suppose they could open that up to every single player, because I'm sure there have been times where it's like I've been an agent or a premier in an alliance, and it's like, is so and so online? When were they last online, and things like that. You're not sure. So instead of going through a Commodore or the Admiral and getting them to go and check it for you, it would be easier for other players to actually see. So yeah, I mean, something like that could be opened up to all players. I mean, it's like another thing that I thought about was Indeed is such a feature. The game, you can see whoever's online. That's such a stupid feature. In any game, you can see whoever is online, who's last online. Yeah, we can see then it's worth exactly. Armadas is another big thing. If you want an agent wants a big gun, a level 14, say like a level 30 players go in for a bigger armada, and they want, say, someone like in the 40s to bring their, I don't know, Valdor or something, or a bigger ship just to help them out. And it would be nice to know if that bigger player is actually online for that poor agent. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice if they could see who was online or when there was last online. But another thing I was thinking as well is like territory takeovers. Sort of like after you take over, like a little report for the Admiral to see who was actually there. Maybe we can see if there's anything we could do to like help players get actively involved in alliancing. I mean, they might just not want to even participate with the alliance and just join them just for the alliance rewards. Who knows? But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that could be done with communication. How something to clear up or convert all the currencies in game, it might free up some memory space. Believe it or not, I think there is something along those lines that may not be specifically stated like that, but I think there might be something online. But improving lag and performance is a major focus for the Scopley team. Hence the reason the latest battle engine update. I've not heard some good things from some players complain about lag, and you'll see a screenshot clearly stating that. And something that we've consistently been working to improve. But obviously, we don't want to introduce awesome new content and features every month if the gameplay experience is suboptimal. Wow, there's a big word. I would have just said if the experience for our players is pretty crap. But I suppose in a proper online document like this, he's got to actually be, politically correct. To give you all some context, haven't noticed much difference since to be honest, Kate, I've not noticed any difference. Literally, I'm having issues. I put it down to the fact that we've recently got a Wi-Fi booster, which we've got at the other end of the house, and I'm noticing problems with the Wi-Fi ever since. I mean, maybe I just need a more powerful Wi-Fi, I don't know. But, hey-ho, I'm a pauper. Can't afford big things like that. But to give you all some context, lag and performance in general is not a simple thing that they can fix with an instant click. They are more complex, involving many different code paths on both the client and the back-end servers. We want to share you with some improvements our dedicated engineering team has been working on to get some of these changes in the pipeline. See the image below. First, get that PC. Yeah, that is on my should we say bucket list for 2023. But again, it's getting round to it. The missus decides she wants to do some decorating first, so we'll have to get that out of the way. To be honest, we could do some actually decorating, but yeah, we'll get round to it eventually. As you can see, we recently released several improvements, like the revised battle engine and the alliance contributions changes that have significant performance impacts, plus daily reset scaling improvements that helped with the refresh of events at 9 AM PT. So yeah, okay, what daily reset scaling improvements is that? It would have been nice to actually have a list of what they've actually done with that one, but I don't suppose we'll get it. So more improvements are planned for next year, and we hope to start seeing a positive change in the performance in the next few months. So this again is not a quick fix, but this image was released in general chat on Scopley's official website. How I applaud server 201 for actually getting their ships in this kind of a formation for proper wording, because that is pretty understandable. Fix the lag, and it pretty much states what we actually need. So what they've already released so far then is alliance contribution lag, daily reset server scaling, whatever that means, and battle engine 1.5. Woohoo! It's a 1.5, guys. So that's what they've already released so far. Next up, which is still in testing but it's due to be released soon, is battle lag improvements. So maybe your ships will stop fighting thin air, and refinery and shop lag. So basically, to me, that sounds like done. That's what it sounds like to me. But anyway, in development is battle lag phase 2 improvements, daily reset server scaling phase 2. What was phase 1? Can we have the information about what was actually done on that? Because I don't actually know. So, but hey ho. And then obviously on the roadmap as well coming up is system load time improvements. So instead of you're sitting there watching that little circle, which normally usually appears down here somewhere, and it loads to a system a lot faster. Client loading time improvements and event scoring lag improvements. Well, we all know about event scoring lag. Jesus Christ, that's been a predominant thing this year, hasn't it? I knew events are not scoring. Clear localization doesn't work. But anyway, so we have got things coming to sort the lag out. How much it will improve it, I do not know, because I'm not going to be a shield for Scopley, no end. But what I understand from a technical point of view, and bearing in mind my technical knowledge on most of this is quite limited, quite crap. But from what I understand, because this game is played on like multiple different platforms, Android, Apple, PC, Mac, it can be a massive problem to create a fix to cover everything. There'll be like different codes for Android, different codes for Apple. I mean, if there's anybody who's got some technical know-how in chat who can just say that whether I'm right or I'm actually wrong, then yeah, please obviously say it. But it's like you've got things like that, so it's not easy to just come out with a fix. Lord and behold, we wish they would come out with that fix and really do it. But unfortunately, it is what it is. It's something we have to grin and bear. It's something we're all going to continue to moan about. Because, well, let's just face it, right? We're humans. We love to moan, especially here in the UK. As I like to moan. whinge and moan about just about anything going. So, but they are the improvements that they are looking at getting sorted. But it is nice to have this kind of transparency. Actually, let's say, right, this is what we've done so far. This is what we've got coming up. This is what we've got in development. And this is what we're putting on the roadmap to actually get sorted. So we have now, and let's not mince words here, we now have an official list of what they are going to sort. Now, the downside to this is they're not giving us a timescale, which is fine. And that's the right thing to do. You can't give a timescale on something like this. It is a big thing. It's not an easy fix, but it's a choice to run on more platforms, increase the player base, exactly, and the customer base. They should still deliver a quality game at a good pace. Exactly, Bandit. They should do. And for all intents and purposes, Scopley do. They do try to do the best they can. But as well, and it's got to be the same as in, like, working in factories, working in retail. The people at the top are putting so much pressure on the people at the bottom to get this pushed out, get it in there, get it done, and don't worry about the problems. And it's like somebody at the top is sort of like sweeping the problems under the rug. We don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about that. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not going to say that's the way it's working, but that's the way it's coming across. Game design are doing their best to try and get us some good content. Engineering is trying to make sure that it all releases properly and there's no problem. The arc runners are trying to make sure that we have a decent arc to participate in. But again, it comes down to the bigwigs at the top saying, we want this done. Now, the players are all screaming, let's take a month off. New content, let's just take a month off. And Scopley is never going to do that. The bigwigs at the top in Scopley are never going to allow that to happen, because that 1 month with no new content is less of this. It's less money. It's less money coming in. They're not thinking about the fact that, well, maybe if you reduce some of the price packs, maybe some of these light spenders might actually spend just that little bit more. Like, let's take Dry Dock H, for example. If there was a $20 pack with just that key, I would have gone and bought that. And I'm one who only buys the Battle Pass. I only buy a Battle Pass. Yes, I've gone and got Dry Dock G at 45 quid. Right? I honestly think they have done well compared to 3 years ago. They've made great improvements to the game and added great features, but they still have to do more. Yeah, exactly. They do still have to do more. And this is the one thing where we have to acknowledge that Scopley has still done right. I still didn't buy Dry Dock G, even though I really wanted it. I wanted it, and my partner was not happy the fact I went and did it without discussing with her. And I said, I actually did joke to her earlier today saying, have you got the 90 quid so I can get Dry Dock H? She turned around and literally used the four letter words followed by off. I can't say it on YouTube. On Twitch, I could say it. On YouTube, I can't. Might buy the pile when it arrives, but 50 is so much for me. Exactly, Kate. And I'm the same. 50 is a lot of money. Now, put that key in at 20 quid. I'd be tempted to go get... I would go buy it. 20 quid. Yes, not a problem. Do I want the materials and everything that's in the $100 pack? Yes, you damn fucking... I do want that. Whoops. Yes, I do want it. But I don't have 100 quid. It's Christmas, for God's sake. I've got 3 kids to think about. I've got a partner to think about. I've got family to think about. So if I went to spend 100 quid on something for pixels, I think I would be in the doghouse for at least 6 months, if not longer. 20 quid, I can get round. I can bend, I can juggle a couple of bills just to do a 20 quid one. So, and yeah, cheap packs, more players buy it, and it would keep a closer level base of players on the server. Exactly. And this is my thinking as well. With cheaper packs, more players would be more likely to go out and spend. Yes, keep the big packs in for those who really do like to spend. But for those light spenders, for those who literally can't afford to do much, get them some cheaper packs. Even if there's not a lot in it, as long as it's valuable at 20 quid. Put them out, and I guarantee Scopley's profits would probably go back up a little bit, and they'll have more people spending. It's simple logic. So it's like, where they're getting these analytics to say, oh, not a lot of people would spend 20 quid on that, but they'll spend 500 quid on that. I don't know where they get the logic from. I think they actually have calculated that, and I think the whales spend so much they would lose money if the lower prices, even if more players buy it. No, not really, because you just take a lot of the stuff out of the packs. It's like that Dry Dock H, right? That pack is well and truly worth 100 quid. I'm not going to say it, deny. It's absolutely worth it. It's an awesome pack. Yes. Take the materials out of it. Just put, like they did with Dry Dock G, they put 22,500 Latinum in. They put the key for the dock. For those on the PC and going through the web store, Metaphasics, and then there was an Alliance gift, right? That's what they did for the for the 45 quid or $50. That's fine. For the $20 or £18, take the Latinum out of it. Leave the key. Simple. Yes, you'd probably find that some players may come down a step and actually get that key. Yeah, as some of the offices lately have been as well, a pain in the backside to acquire. I mean, I've got the new Kira quite easily this month. Quite easily. I think I got it literally in the first week, which is unusual for me. But, yeah, but it's like, just, even the whales, they're going to want the materials, especially given some of those whales up in the higher regions, like the G5 regions. They're going to need the materials, they're going to need the resources, so they will still spend on those packs. I genuinely believe those whales will still spend on those packs. Not a question. Players like down in the low 40s, in the 30s, they're going to buy the cheaper packs, and you'd probably get a few more of them buying it. It used to be €50 here, but recently prices went up. 20 is now 24, 50 is 60. Ouch. That's bad inflation there. That is very bad inflation. No, well, that's if I buy PC web store prices still, yeah, go through the web store, mate. Just go through the web store. I do, and you get the Metaphasics as part of it. So, and then that's extra stuff that you can do. Yeah, Google is another money grabbing company. I'm surprised they're not charging you just for using their search system. I mean, they've just released, what is it, the Pixel i7 or something like Pixel 7 or something like that. And one of their adverts is, you've got Google Maps, you've got Google Email, you've got Google this, you've got Google that. So why would you not have a Google phone? It makes sense. Well, no. I've got an Android, but I've got Google Maps, I've got Google Email. Why the freaking heck would I need a Google phone when it's already on my Android? But I seriously digress now. But yeah, so, but 20% increase for Pixels is insane. It is. I'm not gonna lie, 20% increase. That's well above inflation. So, but anyway, yeah. So, the transparency we're getting here is fantastic. The fact that we're actually getting this view, this sort of open of saying, right, this is what we're doing. This is what we've gone. And I'm going to give it to Eco. This year, he's done his damn best to give the players more communication. Now he's got Bex alongside him. Suggestion, ask your wife for dry dog cage to Christmas. She's already told me to F off. She's already told me to F off. I'll talk less now. Hey, don't worry, mate. It just means it's less time for the Alliance Star bases. That's all I'm going to say. That's all. I tried to record a video on it last night and I got so far, and unfortunately my son threw up badly over it, all over his mum. So I stopped recording. I thought, you know what, it's a crap event anyway, so I won't bother recording anything. But hello, we'll discuss it during the live stream. But anyway, so yes, let's move on. So the transparency there is good. Now, next up is game grind and loops. Now, we all know there's a hell of a lot of loops in this game. So you got your Stella loop, you got your Borg loop, you've got freaking all sorts everywhere. So another topic that we've been hearing from you lately, especially our longer time players, and one of them, is the amount of loops grind that a commander needs to do daily. Now, for those of you who remember, Rev Juice did do a video on showing how long it takes you to actually do stuff in this game. 3 to 4 hours. This was originally a mobile-based game. How much time do you want to spend staring into a little 6-inch screen? Well, according to Scopley, you need to be spending approximately 18 hours a day. I don't know if that's the way they like to work in America, but it's certainly not what we want to be doing here in the UK. I'll tell you that for definite. If you can find an English person who would gladly work 18 to 24 hours a day, no sleep, for very little in return, I guarantee you they're going to tell you to F off. I guarantee you they're going to tell you that. So, working in a game like this for 4 to 6 hours a day, doing all the grinds, yeah, I'm surprised they even put up with it. But anyway, we recognise that over the years we've added a lot for dedicated commanders to do on a daily basis. Yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you now, right? My G4 I do overnight. I've just got a 3rd Meridian, so which means I can do all 3 of them, not a problem. And then in the morning I go out to grind Gem Hadar, Stella, Swarm, Mantis. Mantis I can roughly do in one run to get just enough, providing I do it every day. And that's just 4. And that will take me around an hour just to do those 4. Then if I want to put the Borg in it, that's the biggest grind I've got left. Then you've got Armadas. Then you've got Stella Armadas. And there's just like so much. So many ships and features, options, resources and factions await for you each day. These new gameplay features have also increased the time needed to complete daily hostiles and Armadas. Oh yeah, and I forgot your actual hostile grinding as well. That's the second biggest one, 25 kills. So, to that end, the big priority for us in 23 is to help reduce this grind, especially for older content. Now, this will also allow us to provide new, fun and engaging content throughout the year. Right. Now, with the older content, now this is the way I'm looking at it. The older content needs to have a cut-off point. Okay? Stella. You come into this loop at 26. Right? Ops 26. You come into the Stella loop. I'm glad I'm allowed to play during work, so I casually do anything I need during those hours. At night, I just do the things I want. Yeah. And say I used to just sort of like hide my phone and sort of like just do little bits and bobs every now and again, especially the mining. I mean, there's that much mining to do. It's unreal. You can do all 3 factions with 38 kills. 38 kills? Wow. Now, yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you split all 38 kills amongst all 3 factions. Yes, you can actually do it. So, and it would be a great time saver, with the exception of travel time, unless you're flipping between 3 systems. So 13, 13 and 12. Exactly. And that is one thing I actually considered on my path to the Trilock. but I ended up just doing the duel and doing it that way. So it gave me something to do at the end of the day, because obviously, as much as we complain about how much grind there is in the game, to be perfectly honest, right, if you could complete everything in 5 minutes, what would you do for the rest of the day? Maybe you'd actually have to take the kids to the park. Maybe you'd actually have to do the pots. Maybe you'd actually have to cook a meal for your family. Does those things sound appetizing? That's why I've got a mobile phone, so I can carry on still playing the game while doing all that. But anyway, yeah. So obviously they want to bring on the older content. So like I was saying, Stella, you come into that loop at Ops 26, right? So to me, that should have a lifespan of 20 levels. So by Ops 46, you should have completed that outlaw research tree with the stellar particles. Obviously, other various researches in there that do not require the stellar particles should be, you should be able to carry on them on as long as it needs to get it done. But those that require the stellar particles should be completed within that 20 level time frame, or 20 levels framework, and then be done. But obviously you would have to make sure you're dedicated to doing your stellar. Now for me, what I've found lately is getting all the epic directives. They take 10 days to accumulate to do one epic Armada. If you check out my Armada directive sourcing video, I've laid it out in there. The exchange Armada sourcing, how long it takes to get each directives and how often you can do them. So 10 days just to do one epic. That's you actually starting it. If your alliance members also join in and start some, you can join them. But as well, if you actually look at it from your own perspective of you starting that Armada, 10 days to do an epic, even with stellar efficiency and the various researches to reduce uranium cost efficiency, or sorry, I should say improve your efficiency, you're still talking doing it on your own solo. You're still talking a few months to go from tier 7 to tier 9 on your Stella. So you also get epic directives from uncommon and rare if you start them. Exactly, and that's where I say it takes you 10 days, because you can get one uncommon, one rare every 2 days, pulling it from the rogue faction store. When you add up the epic directives you get from starting that uncommon and that rare, it takes you 10 days to get one epic. So, and uncommon, you can solo, even low level gives 21 directives. Yeah, exactly. You can go for the low level uncommons and rares and take them out and do it all solo if you wanted to. But you are looking around about 15,000 common directives. Jesus Christ. You've been letting other players start them for you, haven't you? You can certainly gain a lot of epic directives with that one. But what I'm saying is, the stellar particles, which obviously you scrap your max stellar to get your particles, should take you no more than 20 levels to complete if you do focus on it. Now, I've now moved on to the point of, I'm not going to max a stellar anymore. I'll take it to tier 7. I'm not going to worry too much about the epics. If I can do an epics, it's going to be a bonus. Let them build up. Eventually, I'll go to a tier 8, maybe a tier 9, and get some extra ones. But I still will get just enough stellar particles to do maybe 1 or 2 researches a month. That's just off the top of my head. I've ignored the stellar for a very long time. My aim is 70. Don't worry, mate. Do not worry. Because most of that research that requires the stellar particles for your stellar is literally focused at the stellar. It's not focused at any other ship. It's just focused at the stellar. That's it. So tier 9 rewards also give much that you should only scrap level 45s. Yeah, ideally, yeah, you should scrap only level 45s, but it's getting around to getting those epics, and you've got to rely on your alliance to be running epics on a regular basis that you can join. But then you've got to think about the other 71 players in your alliance. So It's just things like that. So it's like the completing the Stella research towards the Stella, I'd say 20 levels. You got your Swarm now. Swarm's not much, no use, no flipping ornament to those in the G5 region. Yeah, epics are only rewarding if you actually do start them. That's it. The level 37 epic gives you a leader's chest of 20,000 epic credits, epic loot. So, and then obviously you get whatever you pull out of the Armada once it's finished being divided between you and your teammates. So, but yeah, I don't know about the 45 because I've never reached the 45. But I think it's time that they actually started putting, ideally you should be completing things by a specific level. If it's not done, then yeah, then after that you should get a research boost, which will say like improve your epic loot by 5,000% when you get to Ops 47, just to help you get it cleared out quickly. So that's one thing less you've got to do. And then obviously they can focus on other things. Like the Mantis now is a level 33 option. And to be honest, that's literally about getting Syndicate XP and sourcing oh, monkeys. Right. Bear me 2 seconds. I've just got to run downstairs and unlock the front door because my partner's care is coming in. So please just bear me 2 seconds. Oh, hello. Nearly knocked my chair over. So, I like what they did for the Swarm. Only 22 kills, which is always completed. Yeah, exactly. The Swarm, perfect example. 22 kills, you've done it, job's are gone. And that's the Franklin A. So, that's another one. But again, once you get in the 50s, it's what you actually get back off it for that Swarm Sunday as well is like nothing. It's like a complete and utter waste of time. It's not G5, it's all G4. Yeah. So I do feel sorry for the G5 players on that one, that they weren't taken into consideration when that was done. So, but hey ho. Yeah, the refinery is actually not too bad, especially if you've got the Prime. I can't wait for that to become free to play in about 10 years time. But anyway. So, expect to see some initial ways to address this in the first half of 23 and beyond. So, by the looks of it, in the first 6 months, we're going to be looking at ways of getting things improved and faster. And this next image could be an idea of what they're planning. Well, that's that gone. Yeah, an Hexacom. Now, could this be a sign of what they're planning on to do? I mean, that looks like a Borg booster. That's a Borg booster. And by the looks of it, I'm saying that's a loot chest. So maybe it'll improve the payouts from the Borg. I mean, you've got your Inventor. Is it Inventus? Oh, I can't pronounce the damn thing. But you know which one I'm on about. The skin for the Vidar. That gives you a 50% boost to loot from the Borg tactical probes. So maybe that will be a massive improvement as well. I mean, the refinery's not particularly too bad with it. So, but yeah. I can only wait and see. I would love to have that skin. Yeah, I would too. But the problem is, when you're only getting like 15, a limit of 15 every time it comes around, and you don't even get enough loot out the 3-day event to actually get the 15 in the first place. Well, yeah. So, but anyway, right. Extra things that they're saying for the Stella skin don't have that either, sadly. No, that you should get that event when it comes around. When the Apex event comes around, it should actually come up, and it's basically just obviously doing Stella Armadas. I mean, with those 15,000 uncommons you've got, you could literally blast that event in one day. Well, actually, no, it'd probably take you actually multiple days to do, 7-minute timers. But you'd probably actually do that leaderboard quite easily. So, but I don't know. It's just an idea. Alliance can help get the Stella skin. Yeah, exactly. Scoring is so, in my server, it takes so much time. Last time I only got 12 shards. Ouch. You've got a very active server then. A very active server when it comes to that. But anyway, so moving on. Rite of Ascension. Now this is a new thing that they're planning. As you can see, the name may change. Woohoo! But even the best blade will rust and grow dull unless it is cared for. It's a Klingon proverb. Leaderboard is very hard even with my directives. I can imagine it would be. So if you've got a very active server when it comes to leaderboards, yes, it will. A little bit of time, never got a lot at a time. Yeah, I mean, sometimes slow and simple could sometimes be the best way around it, but it depends on how quick you want to get through it. And the one thing is, a grind in this game, well, to be honest, it's too much of a grind. Anything above 6 months, in my opinion, to do something is way too much of a grind. But that's my opinion on it. So anyway, Rite of Ascension, the middle of the year, they're planning on releasing this Rite of Ascension. This will involve in testing your fleet against ever-increasing difficult enemies. Now, this sounds similar to something that we already have. Hostile Captain. Does that ring a bell with anybody? In your missions? Your combat missions? Constantly taking on ever-increasing enemies, level enemies. I think I've got a level 50 captain, hostile captain at the minute, waiting for me in G5 space. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to take him on just yet, but it's there, waiting for me. So that's what this sounds like. But hopefully they might have found a new way. I say this involved will test your fleet against ever-increasing difficult enemy attacks. I hope they make something like achievements like the field training. Yes, and I think this is where Rev Juice thinks this is coming as well. It could be something along the field training. Maybe it could be in field training as a separate tab as Rite of Ascension. You need to kill ever increasing hostiles. More hostiles. There's a old PlayStation game, for those of you who may have even remembered it, called G-Police. That was one game I did enjoy, G-Police 2. And there was a training mission on that one. And it went from killing one hostile as your easiest level to killing up to 12 hostiles that would come all at you all at once. And that was a bugger to do. I managed it. I really enjoyed doing that. Fly around the dome. It was set on one of Jupiter's moons, Callisto. In domes. I actually really enjoyed that game. So it's a shame that I can't find it to go on Android. Like I can find Super Nintendo games to play through a encoder or whatever it is, a manipulator or whatever, to play like Zelda or stuff like that on my phone from the old Super Nintendo. So yeah, that's going back some time. But commanders will be presented with a series of progressively tougher challenges which they can complete in order to emulate. Thank you, Bandit. That's the word I was looking for. In order to earn rewards. Push as far as you can to show your fellow commanders just how powerful you are. You know, flex those muscles, show those phasers, bash them with a photon torpedo or two. Can you Can you prove that you have the heart of a warrior? Will you be victorious? Assert your dominance in the galaxy. Success. Well, yeah. So that will be an interesting one to see. But like I said, flex that credit card. Yeah, exactly. Flex that credit card. But yeah. So to me, this sounds more like the hostile captain event mission thing you've got. Yeah. Kill ever increasing more difficult hostiles. That's pretty much hostile captain. But it could, like you say, it could come in the field training. You never know. We can only wait and see. Yeah. Dry skin developing. I'm talking too much. And there's Worf enjoying a few pain sticks. As long as I don't bring pain sticks in, I'll be fine. Artifacts. Again, my name might change. Now, remember back up to that skill tree. There was that column that said artifacts. This is why. Flex that wife's credit card and duck and cover. Yeah. Eco did hint there will be expanding the field training system. Yeah. Now, I did actually post in with the other content creators a little idea about that is, it's got something to do with Voyager, because if you remember the one episode of Voyager where Tuvok took former Marquis, and tried to teach them how Starfleet do things. Well, that's field training. Teaching somebody in the field. So I was thinking something along those lines. But maybe, yeah, I don't know what they've got planned for that field training. I hope it's going to be something good though. But anyway, artifacts, open your mind to the past, art, history, philosophy, and all this may mean something. Jean-Luc Picard. To be honest with you, I don't even remember that called Lower Decks, I believed. Yeah, I think that some reason that sticks in my head for I know TNG did an episode called Lower Decks with those 4 officers all bidding for promotion. One was trying to sucker up to Riker to get the ops posting, where he was up against the Bajoran, who was involved in a scandal at the academy over the death of another cadet during a flight training, performing a maneuver that they shouldn't be performing because it's been banned because it resulted in the loss of all 5 cadets 100 years before. And then that Bajoran gets killed on a mission to help a Cardassian. So, but I remember that episode, and yeah, I think it was Lower Decks in Voyager, because they got stuck in that cargo bay on Voyager during a ship, an airborne pathogen infecting the ship's neurogel pack, so they had to superheat the ship from the warp core, and obviously it blew out a load of EPS conduits, spewed dangerous poisonous EPS smoke into the cargo bay, and they ended up rescuing Tuvok, who they resented to begin with, and they ended up say, well, if you can bend the rules, I think we can learn to accept the rules. They could have done so much with that episode, but yeah. So we're looking to add new ways for players to augment their bases so they have more tactical choices. Commanders will have new ways to optimize the ways they explore and battle across the galaxy. Archaeological artifacts will become available to seek out and use on stations, ships, and officers in many different ways. This feature is still in early development and may go through radical changes before we think it could be an interesting one to explore. Pun intended. Now, this to me is a good idea, because at the minute I'm bored with the missions. I'm flying around just, I'm not even bothering with the storylines for the missions. Yeah, let's go to the next system. Oh, we've got to blow something up. All right, we've got to go here. And it's getting kind of boring. Hunting something like this, which could actually have a benefit for my station. Yeah, I like that idea. What could it do? Maybe actually make those useless generators actually worth something. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe improve my refinery more than what the Bajoran faction store can. Maybe. So, oh, I'm getting cramp in my leg. Something I can use on my ships. Yeah. Maybe an interphasic version, so when somebody attacks me, the weapons pass straight through me. Something like that. Officers. Yeah, I mean, maybe make my officers develop eight tentacles that come out their back and grab another officer and shake them. Say, you will give me your money. Give me your dinner money. I want school dinners. But okay, yeah, me being stupid. But to me, it sounds like a good idea, and if it really does pan out, and I really hope Scopley can make something of this, and game design really do give them lightsabers. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's got the potential for so much, this particular thing. So is the Rite of Ascension, and all it comes down is just to game design. Listen to the players, right? You've put these ideas out there. You're saying it's still in early development. Actually ask the players what we want. Don't just ask a small portion. Put a big... What's... Not a vote. What do you call that thing where you have to sign it? A petition. Sort of like a petition sort of thing. Or like, just say, right, this is what we're thinking. Survey, that's the word I'm looking for. Put a poll. Yeah. Put a survey out saying, we're looking for ideas on how you would like this to go. Ask the players what we want. We're the ones you're serving. We're the ones who want to play this game. Just tell us what you want. I put a poll out in my YouTube and in my Discord in regards to the 3 packs. I've got another one to drop in regards of breaking down that Dry Dock H. Which one would you prefer? The £100, the £50 or the £20? So that's the next poll coming up I've got in there. And I should be releasing that tomorrow. But they need to be asking players what we want. They've got this ideas and suggestions thing in their Discord. How often is that actually looked at? How often have those players gone back to and said, well, do you want to elaborate on this for us? It's like I put an option, so I put a suggestion in my alliance of a new OP officer. Now, I'm going to lay this one out, and I'm going to see what you guys actually think about this OP officer. And yes, and when I say OP, I mean OP. This would be the Borg Queen, okay? The Borg Queen. Now, we all know she's supposed to be the most powerful Borg drone because she's high on the drug of assimilating other species, right? She's high on that. But I had a couple of ideas and how it could go. The first one was a captain's ability of a PvP increasing base damage in PvE, killing hostiles, increasing base damage against them by 5,000%. Okay, 5,000%. Put in the Unimatrix 12 synergy. When the synergy, small synergy, I think I put as a 1,000% boost. And the big synergy, 5,000. So in total, against red dots, she could improve base damage as captain against them by 15,000%. That's literally a one shot. One shot against hostile, you've blown the damn thing up. Now, she'd be an all-rounder officer because she'd have an officer ability, which is mining. Increasing mining speed by what did I say? I think it was something like about 1,000% at tier 1 and going to 5,000% at tier 5. That's increasing mining speed between 1 and 5,000%. And then to complete the all-rounder, she would have a below deck ability, which is PvP, increasing base damage against other players by 100% at tier 1 and 500% at tier 5. Now, yes, I've lowered the PvP side of things because yeah, it should become it would be way too much, because the way to source this player, this card, would literally be in the free path of the battle pass only for 3 months. So for 3 months you can only gain the shards in the main battle pass of an arc in that free path. No buy-in packs, so which means no players can get a tactical advantage. You can, Kay. She's a Borg. They can work as captain, officer, and below deck. If the Queen had these, what would Q be? Oh God, yeah, Q. Yeah, but this Queen would be literally sourced through the battle pass on the free-to-play path, so not spending any money. It's a level playing field for every single player Ops 10 and above. A level playing field. I guarantee you it would pay for itself in the activity of players actually participating in the battle pass. I think a lot more players would actually go for it through that line. After 3 months, every single player's got this one card. Nobody's got an advantage except your ops level. That's it. Or your ship strength. That's it. As for having Q, I don't know. I'd have to sit down and work on that one. But I think there'd have to be a compromise with Q. Would have to be behind a paywall on that one. Because we can't ask Scopley to give us too much. Can we? Let's face facts. We can't ask him to give us too much. But that's just my idea of an OP officer. So maybe too much. I don't know. Probably is. But anyway, so here's a picture of the artifact. And here we come to the end of the roadmap. So lastly, the arcs we have planned for the next year include some fan favourite shows and movies from the Star Trek catalogue, plus some new and more recent ones, which we are sure all fans would enjoy. We can't share a lot of details quite yet, but one small hint we have for the first arc next year, Q Ultra Pack will have 1 shard and you'll need 280 shards to unlock. Yeah. I totally agree with that one, Kay. So the first arc will bring back an old geometrically obsessed enemy you faced before. So the Borg are returning in 2023. In January 2023. Yes, the Borg are back. Now, the last time the Borg were introduced into this game was January 2019. Yes, 2019. 4 years. Was it 2019 or did they start in 2020? No, yeah, it was 2019, wasn't it? It was 2019, yeah. 4 years and the Borg have returned. Now, as long as it's not Return of the Mega Cube, I think we should be alright. I think we should be alright. But will we get a Vidar A? Exactly, Kate. This is mine thinking. Vidar A incoming. I think that's what's coming. I've got 2 Vidars, both maxed. If that's what happens, guess what I'm cutting the first day it comes out? Vidar A. And I'm guessing they're going to have some high level systems for high level players to actually participate against more powerful Borg. Yes, you've got the assimilated systems out beyond Federation and Romulan deep space. But again, yeah, we'll see. But so the Borg are returning next month. And that could bring this new assimilated officer for these new skill trees. Yes. So let's watch out for that. Let's see what they got doing. To me, obviously, looking at this roadmap, it is a bit lackluster on information again. But there is more transparency in it in regards to the lag side of things, that what they're going to do, what they're trying to do to improve things. The couple of features they are planning on introducing to us literally from next month. Yeah, that skill tree is next month. Yeah. And Eco's already telling us the first arc of 2023 is a Borg one. So we've already got it. If this was a small hint, it's not much of a hint, is it? You just pretty much told everyone what's coming. You might as well just plaster it saying, the Borg are back. So, but anyway, so that is the roadmap. It's actually took me longer to go through this than planned, but that's what happens when I start rabbiting on. So, what do you think about the roadmap? Is it something that you're excited about? Is it? I mean, are you looking at these features that they're bringing out and thinking, yeah, I can't wait for that? Or are you thinking, oh my God, are they really thinking that? So, I mean, it's like I've had a couple of other ideas I'd like to see brought into the game. And one of them, believe it or not, does go along with canon. And it would be sort of like dungeon style. And that is subspace corridors. Now, I'm actually going to leave that with you on that one as we move over to the game to look at Starbase Assaults. I would love the Borg if they don't mess it up again. Yeah, I'm really hoping that they actually get the Borg correct this time. It would be nice if it was actually, you know, what I would like to see the Borg doing, and this is what I really want them to do, is swarm up on you. What I would like to see is you can target multiple ships at once that are within a certain distance. Say like they're within 2 seconds of your ship, you can target as many ships within that distance of your ship. So say like you got 5 Borg vessels or 5 hostiles in that 2-second gap, take them all on. I don't mind what they bring into the game. They cannot please 100% of the players. No, that is another big thing as well, right? They are never going to please 100% of us. They ain't, right? Yes, I may be bouncy. I may be outgoing. I may to have a laugh. But I'm also very hard to please. Very hard to please. But as long as they add variation and more importantly, IT work out the bugs, then I'll be happy. Yeah, and I will be happy too if the bugs get sorted out. But the one thing is, I think that's one thing we're going to have to live with. In all honesty, I think we're going to have to live with the bugs. So, just get the Starship Troopers in. We need bugs. We need reasons for oopsie chests. Yeah, we do need oopsie chests. Especially ones that we got last month. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, we got in November for the Treasury. It was bloody great. I do love that oopsie chest. It's just a shame it runs out next month. I run out of all those tokens next month. But anyway. So, yeah. So, as I was saying, subspace corridors. I'm going to leave that with you as an idea for dungeons and how you'd actually like to see that one. They can't give lower chests now anymore. Yes, they can, Kay. Trust me, they can. And they will. Trust me, they will. Yes, they set the bar all the way up here, but they still will do it. This is Scopley. Anything's possible. So, but yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick jump into game. We're going to quickly cover Alliance Star bases. And then that'll be it for tonight. So let me have a look where my game is. Oh, that's Prism. There's my game. So, oh, I got 2 miners already full and they've not been popped yet. Hey! So there you go. There's my 3 Meridians ready and waiting. So, right, let's move myself over here. And hello! Make myself bigger. The next 3-day server down with a chest is with 100 latinum in it. Huh? Ah, yeah. I get what you mean. So, but right. So, Alliance Star bases then. Let's get rid of that. So, as we all know, now Star bases can be attacked, right? You need to be Ops 15 and above to start them, and you're literally going to shoot them. The only way to avoid them is to click this button in the top corner and bring your base back in. Yeah. Now, When your base is in, you cannot mine. You won't be attacked. But the biggest thing is you cannot start an upgrade. You cannot start an upgrade. If you have an upgrade going, and I think we've got one going, haven't we? Yeah, we have. 17 hours. You bring your starbase in, so that will carry on. You can speed it up. I ran a couple of tests on this today, but you need to redeploy your starbase to start a fresh upgrade. You will need to, and obviously we've been raided today. Yeah, we got smashed. And surprisingly, I have a battle log. Oh, we've lost a member. Oh, hello. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that battle log. Once I find, here we go, Starbase, and it was the top alliance in our server. I expected that these would have started day one. They didn't. It was over 24 hours before this was started. Hi, Need. Welcome to the show, mate. We're just moving on to Starbase Alliance Starbases now. We've just covered the roadmap, so obviously this video live stream will still be available on YouTube after about 24 hours. That's YouTube's lag time. But anyway, so as you can see here, we was literally walloped. Absolutely walloped. We've got one of the strongest starbases on the server. It's not the strongest. I think we're about 3rd or 4th, somewhere in there. We're definitely in the top 5. But we got leveled. It was Argo who started it. And obviously he bought a jellyfish. And he was a sacrificial lamb. And this is where your tactics are going to come in. If you want to fight these star bases, you will need literally G5 ships. No questions. You will need G5 ships. And as you can see, just above my head, poor Argo, his jellyfish suffered from a 1.1 billion blast out of our starbase. Yeah, that first gun shoots a son of a gun. No ship in the game can withstand that. No ship. So, you send a sacrificial lamb in. The weakest ship will get hit first. Yes, the weakest ship will get hit first, and then the rest of them are free to level your base. So if you bring G5 ships, as you can see, for some reason this battle log is completely out of whack. So you'll have to follow along with it as we go along. I'll move myself into the middle. But as you can see, the Sanctus, the Corvus, the Northcut, all giving us damaging blows. And then our Alliance Star base shoots. Now, why that's over there and not over there, I do not know. But apparently our shield's depleted. So we literally got slammed. I mean, look, this Sanctus here, that's a level 59 player. And he's hitting us with an 18.5 million critical hits out of his Sanctus. And it's just literally leveled our base. Absolutely leveled it. 2 rounds and we were done. That was it. We're goners. Now, from what I've heard as well, this is damage base. So the more, one way or another, you will always get cargo. You attack a starbase, you will get cargo of some sort. It's going to be the plasma, because that's all the damn thing mines, right? But how much cargo you will get, I mean, yeah, they drained us. They drained us a good one. Never mind. It's only plasma. But depending on how much damage you do to this starbase will depend on how much loot you get. Whether you win or you lose. If you win, you're going to get the full lot. If you lose, you're still going to get something. So say you did 20% damage to this base. You'll get about 20% of the loot. And I think that's the way it works out. I'm not 100% sure behind the mechanics, but that's what I've heard. It's damage base. Now, is this a good mechanic? No, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. It's one of the worst things they've brought into the game. right? It makes the rest of the year look spectacular. I'm not going to lie. This PvP makes it all look spectacular this year. It is an Armada base, and well, I'll head out to a system to see if we can find an Armada. See if we can find one. Obviously, I've got a journey across the galaxy. Now, there was one... was it in here? I saw it. Nope, it's gone. It's gone. So we're going to probably find it hard to actually find a star base now, because I think a lot of players would have, a lot of alliances, sorry, would have just bought their star bases in. Yeah, there's none there. Oh Christ! Why did I just do that? Did I just see an enemy in Rator? Yes, I did. Let's go kill him. So now the problem is remembering where all these nodes are, because the one thing is when you click mining, it doesn't show up. When you click on the system, it doesn't show up telling you that there's a node in there. Maybe no one will ever do this unless there's an event. Exactly. And speaking of events, we'll go into the events, right? There was nothing in these events until the directives actually started dropping. And let's go into the Alliance leaderboard. Why are we ranked 4th? Oh, I'm guessing some of our guys have actually done it then. But there you go. The top Alliance, they're walking away with it. It's to be expected. They're a level 40 Alliance. There are a lot of spenders in that Alliance. But the one thing is, they didn't actually start the event until it all started dropping free to play. Now, obviously, you're going to get your mandates. And for those of you who watched, oh hello, it's not working. There we go. Who saw in Galaxy Chat on the Discord? I actually did put a thing up in there of lemons. So now, here we go. So this is your daily chest, and it's going to be your Alliance Unity, and you're going to get a whopping 20 mandates. Wow. 10 days. 10 days worth in there. Okay. But your next place to get them is going to be in here. Yep, we can see it. And you're going to get 100. Ooh! So every 2 days, actually, you're going to be able to start one of these Armadas. So we're going to claim that one. Okay. Come out. I'll collect the other 2 later. And then we'll go into the dailies. We'll collect that daily. I still need to do the rest of them. But I'll get that done before the reset. So, okay. Fair dues. So now I've got to find the starbase. So it's a level... Oh, hello. Level 32 system. So let's go to... It's just trying to find a system where we're going to have them. Aha! Here's a starbase. How nice of them to leave their starbase out. Who is it? Okay. Well, we're not going to go into too based on things, but they've got some loot. Okay. So let's just scan them. Okay, so they're not kicking out too big a 184 million DPR. Okay, so it's not too bad, really. Like I said, it's not as powerful as ours. It's only a level 5 base. But it's going to cost you 200 assault tokens. Now, the timer's disappeared again. Figures. It's a 10-minute timer. You're allowed up to 4 players. Yep, 4 players. So, as you can see, I can't start it. Not till tomorrow. Boo-hoo. Now, the downside for that is, for me, is the SMS win or lose, I'm going to get 100 points for beating it or 50 points for losing it. Okay, so it's good the fact they've added that mechanic. Start an assault, 1 point per directive. So that's going to give me 200 points. So potentially, if I do this, that's 300 points. Well, I'm not going to complete this SMS now. I'm not going to be able to complete this SMS unless I join 2 more assaults. Minimum. I'm going to need to be in 3 assaults. One of them, I'm going to need to start myself. Right? Just to complete this event. But I'm not going to do this event because I think this is a waste of time. A complete and utter waste of time. I mean, I don't know what this retrieving is, but whatever it is, it's retrieving. So it's like I'm boycotting this. I'm boycotting this event. I don't want to participate. Can I see if any? Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, that's our highest level player in my alliance, Locutus. He's a level 49 player, so he's obviously joined it. But this is showing that there's no brackets. There's no brackets in this. I mean, here you go. Agatha, that's that level 59 player. Narc at the top. I think he's a high level. I think he's level 57 or 58 player. What good am I going to be against them in this? What good? I mean, come on. The retrieving is doing PvP, get 20 points per win in 3 specific systems. Ah, thanks, Kay. I didn't know that. Now, you see, now, the PvP side, I might just do, if it's normal PvP against other players, ships, then, okay, so I'm right. I know what we can do here. Let's go and do what we keep saying to do. Yep, normal PvP. Right, well, in that case, then, that's something I might actually do. So, boom, we'll clear localization. This is what they usually suggest to us to do. And I've just realised out of all this time, I've not actually turned my music up. So, you do need to see where, as there are just 3 systems that give you points. Right, that's fine. So I can send a ship out there. But I tell you what, I've actually got something a bit better to actually look at. So let's go back into the events. There we go. And I think this is probably what some of the lag problems are going to hopefully solve. Here we go, PvP combat. So where have I got to go? Well, okay. So I'll fly into one of those systems tomorrow and go blow some ships up. So, right, let's get out of there, because I'm sure my Enterprise is... Yep, it has. Now, you'll probably notice I'm not using a PvP crew, because I guarantee this level 39 player... Oh, this is an alliance that doesn't actually respond to anybody. Nobody talks. You message them and say, why did you kill my anti-miner? So, we've gone to war with them. We're just going to kill them for the sheer hell of it. And I'm killing him with a crappy crew. So, right, I'm going to need my Enterprise home, because I'm going to need to change him over. Yes, my Cerritos. I'm bringing my Cerritos out of dock, because I'm going to run some Solo Armadas. 23 wins to complete the event. Sorry, I just literally missed that. So, right, let's get the live chat caught up on here. Yeah, no points for losing. No, I mean, that's fair dues. I mean, you can't spend. Will be hard to PvP for you. I think you'll have the same systems as I do, so much stronger players will be there also. Yeah, probably. To be perfectly honest, right, I'd rather go out and lose in a PvP fight against another ship than do that pathetic starbase. I mean, I don't even know who would have asked for a glorified, oversized miner as a starbase. The things I was seeing about wanting the Alliance starbase was to dock ships with, to put your star bases around. It's things like that. Benefits for there's no benefits to that starbase with the exception of the research tree. Yes, it gives you some boosts and everything, but I mean, yeah, most of it's a cardy something. There is some towards the stellar stuff in the starbase tree, but it's like there's no active incentive to race that starbase up. We got told that PvP was coming for it. So a lot of alliances have rushed it up to find it's a pile of crap. Okay. So, yeah, I'd rather go out to another system, fight somebody, most likely lose, but, yeah. I'd rather do that, to be perfectly honest with you. So, where's he not moving? I told him to move. So I'm going to do some Solo Armadas, and I've even got an epic in there. Yes, actually got an epic. I've got 3 uncommons available. I will be able to get a rare, and I've got an epic on standby as well. So, now, I know a lot of players as well will say, well, are you not going to use max loot crews? The answer to that one for me is no. Yes, the max loot crews are good for getting that extra loot and those more edicts. But the one thing is, I've got to step back down from these level 43s, 44s and 45s down to level 40s. Now the epic I will need to step down to. I will need to step down to a level 42. But I can't use the max loot crews with Exacoms, with the Cerritos in this system. Now, it's not much difference between what I will get out of this. Okay, so he's still at Major. What I will get out of these uncommons here, compared to a level 40 using maxed loot crews. But one of them is I've got to use the Franklin A, which is significantly weaker and ideally not designed to play on this kind of a battlefield. So to me, I don't see the point in using my max loot crews. Yes, they're there, and I will get round at some point to doing a video on it. But I'd rather still go fight. And the one thing I noticed jumping down is the amount of edicts I was getting using a max loot crew on a level 40 uncommon was not quite equaling how many edicts I'm going to get off this thing using one loot crew. And I will show you that. So the Enterprise is within range, so I can start the Armada. So I'm going to get 20 edicts off this one as a bare minimum, right? Using a max loot crew against a 40. I mean, I suppose I could show you. I suppose I could waste 100 directives and show you that one. So what we'll do is we'll send the Cerritos in ahead of them. And then what we'll do is I will change the crews out and show you the difference in the edicts, which to me is not going to be much difference. This one I'm still going to get more off. The loot as well, I'm still going to get more off out of this one. But max loot crews comes down to how you want to do things and how you play your game. Now, see, if I did a video on this, it could literally just, it'll be so quick and simple. There's a lot of editing instead of waiting for timers. But unfortunately, we'll just have to sort of wait for timers. I got another Dax, another Dax shard. Wow. I am not happy with that event as well. Right, so there we go. Right, so we've won that one. I tell you what, before we actually, let's recall the fleet, because I'm going to need to send them home for repairs. And then if we go here, and then we click on there. So there we go. We've gone up to 23 edicts, okay, and 308,000. So I'm just going to make a note of that, because we're going to compare this. 308.27k and 23. So we'll keep. We're going to follow this. I'm not going to bother claiming the chest yet because I don't need to. What we will do while we wait. I've gone past it, Anna. Yep, there it is. Oh, I'm just short. Bollocks. And that chest is not going to be enough to actually do it. So I need to do one more uncommon. Perhaps I should have wasted some go-go juice on this one. Yes, I got Quark in command of a Cerritos. The Ferengi finally captured a Federation starship and got it to keep. So, right. So it is level 40, right? Don't know why I just did that. Here we go. We'll click on that. So as you can see, right, this level 40 has only got 10 edicts available to it. Now, yes, for the loot, you'll need to jump around, you'll need to scan around and try and find one with a better loot. But the edicts roughly are the same for all the uncommons. So if we just move around the system, there's another 40. No, that's not. Here we go. So there you go. 10 edicts, but 116,000 loot. So this one's already got 14,000. Is it 14? No, hang on. 12,000 more loot. So I think that might be the one we'll end up going for. 113, but again, still 10 edicts. 10 edicts at 106. Got one down here. Yep, we have. 114. Again, 10 edicts. Black Half Dan is also going live. So, but yeah, so that's it. So, what, it was that one, wasn't it? Yep, it was that one. So, we're going to pick that one because that one's got the bigger loot. Now, I'm going to change out. I'm just trying to think which ship to change out. I think I know which one to change out. It won't be the Valdor because I need the Valdor. No questions about it. So we'll change the jelly. So we are going to need where are you? Here she is. So we need Jailer there. We need the Franklin. Then we need to go here and change Riker for Geordie. Because obviously we need to still keep the synergy for Beverly. And obviously I want to keep Kirk on there for the Enterprise for its shields. So we're going to send these ships out now. And then see how many of them get blown up. Because that's going to be the interesting one. So what I will say is, if anyone's obviously watching and you've not joined my Discord yet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link below as well. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, please feel free. I do have a PayPal and Cash App. It's not very often I do publicly announce them. And that's the wrong... I've downloaded got the wrong bloody thingy. Trust me. Where's the friggin' thing gone? I hate it when I gotta redo everything. There we go. So there's the links. So it looks like Black Half Dan's actually got a couple of people joining his live stream.
We weren't live, so I got rid of it. I never said we weren't live. Oh my God. Why are you blaming me? I just don't understand why you're blaming me. That killed the event. I said we got did because even YouTube stopped. Oh my goodness. Hold on, because now Twitch has got 230. It's on a countdown. Well, maybe. Nope, you killed the event. Hey, let me go ahead and see how fast I can create a new event.
Okay. So it sounds like they're having fun in their chat. So what I'm actually going to do...
And, okay, that one's created. Let's grab the encoder. Ooh, right before that's supposed to go. Grab this.
There we go. I'm actually going to try something while we wait for my Franklin to turn up. I actually have a stage of my own. So what I've done is I've just started up the stage. Anybody in chat who wants to join who's on my Discord and wants to come and join chat, come and join the stage. And let's see if we can actually get some chat, and let's see if we can actually hear other people. Ah, so that's his announcement. So if you do want to join the stage, come and join it, and let's see if we can get a voice thing going, because obviously this is another thing I do want to bring into live streams as well. Start bringing in things like this. So, but right, so we're going to do loot. So what we need to do is we need to first of all kick that into gear. Now another obviously improvement to live thing is the fact they've actually put a timer back in the bloody box. So instead of us watching it just slowly fill up and wondering how long's left, we're actually knowing how long's left. And I think that's a good thing for us to put in there. Okay. So now the one thing is that I forgot to put some bloody exocomms on. Trust me, to freaking try and do multiple things at once and I forget at least one thing. So that's all right. I'm sure they'll handle it. Now the Franklin here is going to be my sacrificial lamb. I'm not bothered if the Franklin gets blown up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the Armada. Now, I'm sure if I used exocomms, I probably would have had a bit more luck with this. But we'll see how it all fares, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, the Franklin's not designed to fight these things, so I mean, this is probably one that you are ideal to have the Defiant with. Obviously, I'm still 60 days away from getting the Defiant, and ideally a free-to-play player who is actively grinding out the Defiant, that's roughly where you should be, at 60, 61 shards by now. I know I missed a day because I just ran out of I literally just ran out of the diplomacy tokens, and I was absolutely gutted, but that's because I didn't keep on top of these. So there we go. So we've got the Valdot and the Enterprise actually boosted, and we'll see what happens. Ooh, what's going to happen? Well, it looks like the Enterprise got full of cargo. Yep, so there goes my Franklin, and I actually beat it. So that's a bonus. We actually beat it. Whoa, hello. So let's go and have a look at that battle record. So there you go, full loot cruise, and wow, I can't say much more than that. So we have 272.96 and 14. So it has given me 9 less edicts. It's still a boost. It's still a boost. And it's given me, what, 36,000 less loot. Okay, that's not bad. That's not too much of a drop. Now, should I have gone full synergy with the Enterprise and sacrificed its shields? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, we've got 19 rounds. But, yeah. So, to me, the max loot crew is ideal if you want to run it. Me? Nah. That's not even worth it to me. So what I'm going to do is I need to definitely send them home for repairs. Let's get this repaired and then change it back to its crew. Assign officers, pre-select, Enterprise, Jelly, saves me hunting Lorca out. And then change the ship back over to the Jelly. And then what we're going to do is I'm actually going to be daft here. I'm going to be very, very daft. Because these epics are so easy to acquire, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream with an epic. I'm going to do the epic now. But I'm not just going to do any epic. I'm going to do the biggest epic I can potentially do. Now, I think I have actually succeeded before in doing this. I'm going to need 100% officer defense in there. Multi-purpose, I'm going to need here we go, 100% officer health. And then for the combat, I'm going to need Explorer. Now, I don't have any Armada damage ones. So, yeah, using the Armada ones is not going to be easy when you haven't got them. So, now those 3 XCOMs are activated, I can send the Jellyfish in, get these 2 ships repaired, send them back in. Now, if I actually do all the timings correctly on this, I can actually have all 3 supported by the Cerritos. It does require a lot of timing. It does require a lot of working it all out in your head beforehand. So there is that we need to be aware of. So that's a rare. Here we go. So I'm going to move the Cerritos up here. Let's get the Enterprise repaired, and then we definitely need to make sure that the correct crew is on it as well, which is Riker, because you want him for his captain's ability. So he's already now under the exocomms, and so is the Valdor. The Valdor's got the crew on board. As well, I've got the right number of shards as well to send 6 of 11 to tier 5. However, I just don't have the independent credits. Figures. So, yes, that should be interesting. So, just wait for them to arrive. And then we've got to work our way through the Cerritos supports, because I'll be shocked if this actually works live as well. Very shocked. The downside is waiting for all these timers. That is the downside to these. Let's clear some chests while we wait. Also, we'll say your event tokens are in. If you use the timers wisely, you can end up with your extra 10. Yeah, so bear that in mind. So here's the jellyfish. It's not the jellyfish I want first. And he's playing shoot across the system again. So the Enterprise and Augur's catching up. How close are you to getting found? I'm 60 days away. She should be here in 60 days. Honestly, I can't wait to get her, but I'm not looking forward to the absolute grind I've got to do. Right, I'll tell you what, actually. Yes, right, so there's a jellyfish going. So now, one thing is I've got to get these... yes, I will be doing the reveal when it comes round. But like I say, it's 60 days away. So... That's the sad bit. It's 60 days away, but it's still an acceptable grind to get it. It's just of how long it take to upgrade it to make it actually useful for me, because I need to get it up to about tier 4, tier 5, somewhere in there. But by then I'll probably be Ops 43. So right, so keep that up so I can keep an eye on the timer. And this should be a fantastic win if I get it right. And the one thing is, you do literally have to sit here and clock watch. It's... yeah. Oh, blimey, no, it's 12:15. Shoot. Didn't realise it was that late. Don't usually have streams going on this long. Right. 112 here. Where are you, Kay? I think you told me last stream. The only problem is my memory is bloody crap. Right, so that's that. Now, this is where the timing comes in. Because you've got to get it right. Because my jellyfish has still got 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. Also, my Enterprise has just been activated. And I've got now 1 minute 40. Netherlands, that's it. 1 minute 40 to, 1 minute 30. Till I can... Now, how did I do this before? It's remembering how I did it. And I think this was it. Not him, that one. Start. Go. Cerritos. Minute 5. I'm sure this is how I did it last time. So the jellyfish. Oh, just inside. Yeah, this is where I had the problem last time. Because I did it, and I had something like 2 seconds over the 0 timer, and it still wiped out the support before the thing attacked because of bloody lag. I'm actually surprised I managed to keep within the 6 second lag tonight on the stream. Last stream was it 30 odd seconds behind? Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go. And that should be all 3 ships in the timer. Yes, there's about a 4 second difference. Boom. Did it. I did it. Yes! I love it when something works like this. And the jellyfish has just lost its... So that is a way you can punch up an epic. And that is a way you can get all three ships supported in a combat. Hi Kevin, welcome to the stream, mate. Unfortunately though, that was the last action of the night. I need to get these miners out. I need to get some sleep. Yes, it's the weekend, but my kids still don't know what a lie-in actually means. So, thank you for joining the stream tonight. I do appreciate it. I do apologise that the roadmap actually went on cloaking also. Yeah, unfortunately I haven't actually bought the cloak for my Valdor yet. I ain't sorted that one out. But yeah, roadmap. So drop your comments in the section down below after the stream about what you actually think, and I shall endeavour to ask Eco to check out the comments. And I mean, I don't know if any of them actually came to watch the stream or not, but we shall see. But anyway, I'm not quite sure if I'll be doing a live stream on Tuesday, given the fact it is the lead up to Christmas. So if I don't do a stream, have a great Christmas, and I will try and endeavour to do some videos between now and the new year as well. We've got the end of the arc coming up. To the 23rd, I will be doing the arc review for Deep Space Nine Part 4 and Deep Space Nine as a whole. I will be doing it. I'm releasing it just before Christmas. I know the arc doesn't finish till Christmas Day, but I'm sure we've got Christmas events coming up, and obviously Christmas I'll be spending it with the family anyway, so I won't be doing much content or be spending much time in the game. But anyway, so there is that video coming up. So have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I shall see you on the next video. Live long and prosper and stay safe. Good night.